Trace wants to know if you're the host.
Yes.
I got to look at that in participants and see. You know what? I can't invite. I can't pop up. No, I'm not the host. Wait a minute. Trace.
Yes, you are. You're just called Trace.
All right. Trace is also the host and the co-host. And right
Okay,
now I'm coming on as the host. I think right now because I'm talking.
Okay, he thinks you're the host now, Eddie.
All right. Well, I just muted myself, so if you can hear me, I am the host.
Eddie.
Okay.
Eddie,
You can hear.
you've used.
I think we okay,
Trace
Trace.
login.
All right, if I have any other problems, I'll call you.
Okay.
Thank you, partner.
What did I use up, Martin?
Eddie, what you've done is you've used Trey's login to open the meeting. So you are now Trey. The computer thinks that you're him, so you will have to be him. Stay with that. Don't touch it. You're now the co-host. I'm the host.
All right, I got no problem with that as long as we're here. And one day we will work out how to do this. Hopefully, see, Trace he had something scheduled today, and now he's got to go on a family trip. And he said that there'd be a conflict and he couldn't get the link up made. He got the link. We got the link up made. So we're here. We're rocking and rolling. Ronnie, you want 2 minutes? Go.
Yeah, no, I was just had Trace on the phone, and he was trying to hand it off to you, and he wasn't sure if you were the host. So that's what all of that was about.
Okay. Well, we're back. I am now Trace Lene out of Ocean Springs, Mississippi. It's a cognito. It's a cognito thing.
I only know this, Eddie, because we tried in my group, we tried to skip rounds. So what I did is I got one of my guys to register, and then I sent the link out to everybody so that nobody had to register for my meeting. And that worked really well. Everybody just clicked on the link. The problem is I had 44 Collins. Everybody was called Colin.
All right. Well, we only got one Trace and one Eddie. We got a Cash.
Okay.
Cash is in the house, folks. Watch what you say. Cash is in the house.
Hey everyone, hope all is well.
All right.
Kate. I see he got his coffee.
Yeah,
Hey.
that's our youngest member that we know of. Yes.
He's beautiful.
Hey, Trace, if you want to help him get to
Thank you.
sleep, put a little gin in that milk. That helps. Wait, you don't have to try. He's got a full belly. He's out right now. Okay. We got a pretty good schedule lined up tonight, but let me tell you something. We have got a member. We got many members. We have a member that's been working on getting new demos in your club for you. And right now I've got Walt Wager, Martin Clarkson, Paul Hannaby, Dean Grimes, Billy Doit, Bob Moffett, Dane Chandler, all on the list for demonstrations. I won't go who's going to be where. We'll work that out. But here he is. Dane Chandler put this together for you. I had nothing to do with it. Dane.
Thank you, Dane.
Thanks, Dane.
All
Thank
for
you,
the
Dane.
benefit of the club.
Amazing, Dane.
Thank
Okay,
you.
let's hold
They're
back.
good.
on the amazing
Enjoyment.
thing. It is. It's your club, folks. And just like Dane did, you can put stuff together for this club. And because it's yours. All right. We have a few things going on tonight, and we're going to talk about Freedom Pens in a few minutes because we got some great numbers and we've got some, we have a statement to make about Freedom Pens. I want you to stick around for that. We have also got the gallery is growing in a few minutes. I think about 6:30 or so, I'll show the gallery for the first time. And it's all the pieces we received this week. And wanted to let you see them. Last week I had a problem. We didn't get to it. I'm going to try to call it up and I'll play it again because we always want to show you work. And remember, it's no longer a competition. This is not a competition. This is a gallery. This is your opportunity to put it up in front of everybody and show them the work you're doing. It's the best work you're doing, and that's why you should be proud of it. Show folks what you're turning. And if we have questions after the gallery, we can ask the questions. But I want to see what you're turning. I really do. You give me some great ideas. I mean, I joked just now with Andy about moving all my stuff in the shop, in the house. We are working on that, but it's hurricane time went by, and it's really hard to find a contractor that can work with us. So we found the contractor that can work on his time off. Yeah, get this. We're his second job. He's came with a couple of things ready. My wife, the lovely management, is actually telling me today she wants to paint the ceiling and do some things in that room. I really don't want it to happen right now. I'd like the contractor to do it, take the burden off of her to do it. All right. She can hear me. That's why we cleaned it up. That's why we cleaned it up. All right. And I'm hearing from a lot of folks about this. I'm moving all my stuff in. What do I need to move? Well, I'm out there going through all my treasures, and I've got boxes. I'm talking large boxes, small boxes. I got boxes I can put labels on. This is upside down. Why? But the label's inside the box. But it's going to be organized this time. I mean, really, it's going to be on the shelf so I can find things. See, Billy, that thing about the tools never happened to me. Never.
Not yet.
I mean, I'm putting my four threading tools away right now. I think I have parts for all 4 sets.
I mean, I'm talking about small tools. I'm talking about, some little thing, and it's like, man, I already had one of those.
Exactly. I went to the hardware store looking for a set screw for something the other day, and today I moved to something, and there's a whole jar full of them that I bought a while back, and these are hardened, and those aren't, and all that. So yes, I understand that, and I wish there was a way for us to cure that, but I don't think we're going to get
not
there.
going to.
No. And I'm finding cane components in my shop right now for making a cane, and I'm using a PSI type kit, but I actually need the cane. It's not decorative. It's not for me to carry to hit people. I am looking for a piece of stock that's going to be about 32 inches long, and I want to get a 1-inch cane out of it. And I'm looking for something that'd be really strong and beautiful, and I will buy it from you. I'm not begging. I will buy it from you, but I can't find the stock. Our local guy is gone, and I'm afraid of buying stuff mail order. I'd rather have a wood turner look at it than a salesman. So if you got it, put it in chat. I'll get a hold of you. Or my name and address is on eddiecastelman.com. You can get there. The gentleman that called me today about Freedom Pens, are you with us yet? Somebody called me today to speak about Freedom Pens.
Talking about me, Eddie?
Is that all right?
Doug Smith.
Doug Smith. All right, Doug is with us. And Doug, I think I'm ready for this.
Okay.
You? All right. Now we have you, Doug. I'm trying to get down to where I can get into my other program, so I got the right one going. Doug called me today. Doug, jump in when you have to, need to, or want to. Doug called me today concerning the Freedom Pen project. And I've been an advocate for this for 19 years. And honestly, I have turned thousands of pens for Freedom Pen. It was a mission for a whole year. Doug called me because he has a friend or an acquaintance that is the reason why we do Freedom Pens. And it's, I said, see this fellow right here? Doug, tell us about him.
I need to highlight that better, Eddie. It's showing my ugly mug instead of Wes's face.
Oh, okay. Somebody's got me as
Who are we trying to highlight?
me.
The picture that's beside of Eddie's face there, Dane.
All right, I've got a better one, but still, I don't know why. All right, there he is. They had the spotlight on me. But okay, this is the gentleman we'll talk about. This is Wes Black. Tell me about him, Doug.
All right, this is Wesley Black. He died at a very young age this Sunday. He is a brother firefighter paramedic with me at the Hartford, Vermont Fire Department. Periodically, Eddie has made the statement, and very true, that when military people sign up, they sign a blank check payable to the United States of America. I want to highlight this man because not only is he a firefighter paramedic with me, Wes is also a staff sergeant, the U.S. Army, 3rd Battalion, 172nd Mountain Regiment of the Vermont National Guard. I'll now read some from his obituary. He deployed to Ramadi, Iraq in January of 2005 for an extended tour, served his country as a rifleman, Humvee turret gunner. Upon returning home, he entered the Army Mountain Warfare School, Jericho, Vermont, earned his basic and advanced military mountaineer qualifications, graduated sniper school, and it goes on and on. He later served a 3rd tour of duty in Afghanistan and then returned to Vermont, served in the Vermont National Guard, and met his wife. In 2016, he got married. In 2017, he was diagnosed with stage 4 colon cancer, metastasis to the liver and lungs in that year. With a newborn and a new career as a firefighter, AMT with Hartford, Vermont Fire, he proceeded to do what no one else could fathom. He continued to work for the fire department on his weeks off from chemo. He worked hard and got the Vermont Senate Bill S-111 passed, which raises awareness to the long-term effect of our veterans have and suffered like him as a result of exposure to open air burn permits that are used by the United States Armed Forces overseas. In addition,
Doug, let me
yes,
interrupt, Doug.
sure.
Members, if you would, mute your microphones, please. If you would, Doug is talking to us about Wes Black. Doug, I apologize for the interruption.
That's just fine. I want to also emphasize he was a volunteer guide for Wounded Warrior in Action organization, recognized with a Naval Unit citation from the Marine Corps, educated NATO allies in Macedonia, worked with Inuit guides in Baffin Bay, Canada on Arctic training. He received the Meritorious Service Medal, the Bronze Star with Valor, 2 Purple Hearts, Army Commendation with Valor, and countless other accolades. I also found, but I couldn't find the link to it today, a YouTube video from a father of a fallen soldier in Iraq where he was wounded. Wes, under fire, ran out into the field of battle, dragged this wounded person back. This person did not survive, but Wes held this man while he died. Wes is nothing short of a major hero. He's a volunteer. He never received a Freedom Pen, and that's not the issue here. But I just want to highlight, because tomorrow is Veterans Day, the enormous sacrifice that these people go through to keep us safe and free. Wes Black, thank you very much, sir. Rest in peace.
Thank you, Wes. And thank you, Doug, for bringing it to our attention. And folks, as Doug was just speaking about, it is that tomorrow is Veterans Day, November the 11th. Please, if you got nothing else from the agenda tomorrow, please thank a troop for his service or her service. They volunteered to protect your freedom. Ronnie, are you with us right now? Ronnie?
Yeah, Eddie, I'm here.
Okay, can you explain the situation that you talk to me, Ronnie, please.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to come off of that and then be thankful for what I'm saying here. Before I came on the meeting tonight, I was at our website, and I've seen the promo that Dave has up about Freedom Pens. So I clicked on it, and it was me talking about Freedom Pens. And I was starting to tell y'all that my grandson had joined the Marines, and he was he was there. And I was trying to get 100 or 125 pens together for when he graduates in November. And that's coming up next week. I just want to say a big thank you and give you the numbers. We hit 400 ink pens, 400 freedom pens. That is a big number, and you made it happen. And I'm just blown away with the numbers and everything. And I put my hands on every one of these pens because I bagged them up to give these pens away. And every pen I look at, it just takes you back. You know, you look at this one and you say, wow, look at this. Well, the next one, look at this, look at that. Y'all have really done some outstanding work, and every pen is beautiful. So from the bottom of my heart, and I just want to thank everybody. And I know these men and women are going to appreciate this and cherish these freedom pens. So thank you for your effort.
Ronnie, you're quite welcome, and congratulations for having a Marine. He's never anything less. He's a Marine for a grandson.
Yeah, he just finished the Crucible this week, and not this Friday, but next Friday is graduation, and he'll graduate as a private first class. So we awful proud of him. So,
well, thank you, sir. And folks, this project does not end with this. I have to emphasize that. And somebody said, I'm going to get done. I'm going to turn them until we get done. Keep turning.
And that's what I was just getting ready to say. I have the connections at Paris Island. So if we get any more pins, we can forward them right straight to them. There's a group of ladies that their husbands, and some of them were Marines, and they call themselves Sergeant Peppers. And they are taking charge of these pens and are going to help me distribute them. So
now that's not the only group, Ronnie.
I know.
Jim Selby in Florida is handling the Navy guys. We have Doug Rowe handling the Army guys. We have another gentleman. Remember, folks, I can't do names. He's handling Air Force, and even one more that's handling the Space Force. So we're covering all these people that have volunteered to protect our lives and our freedom. And what can you do? Turn a pen, and you can pick where you want it to go. You can pick Army, Air Force, Marines, Air Space Force, wherever. You can pick the one you want to go to. Pick that name off our website, mail it directly to them, and they will give it directly to the troops. And we have no middleman. We're going right to the troops. This is such a great problem. I'm sorry to tear up on you a little bit, but when you hear about this, people that give it all, he honestly did write a blank check and give it to the United States, and we cashed it for your benefit, please. I'm going to go to the gallery right now, folks. First thing I have to do is go back into Zoom, and I have to mute everybody so we can do this without. There we go. Mute all, and I'm doing that. And now I can show you the gallery collected, and this is last week's gallery. Please enjoy this. speak during the show, it cuts the show out and goes to you. So if you're coming in and joining us, unless you press the unmute button, we'd like you to press the mute button right now. I've muted all the members, but we've had some late entries. And there's some folks who will co-host and they can come in. All right, I'm back. Yes, folks, not to be rude, but when you join us at night, if there's an audio or video that is coming from you to us, it will interrupt whatever we're doing, demonstration or anything, even if we mute everybody and put everybody on, on nobody on spotlight. It's the way this free program works. And remind you, it's not only free to you, it's free for us to use, with the exception that Trace paid for our license. And Trace was very benevolent about that. He saw that we wanted to grow and he jumped on board and got us there. And that is what it's all about, folks. Everybody participates, from Dane Chandler, Doug Rowe, Ronnie Burnett. Wow, everybody. Even Sue helped out. And Sue's got broken ribs. I mean, she's up and moving, right, Sue?
Yep, I kind of lied saying I wasn't going to be in tonight, but I would miss this program, so I had to come on.
Good. Well, Sue, we're glad you're here. She said, I got broken ribs. I wanted to email her back and say, get up out of the bed and get over here. But no, it was Sue's choice. Thank you, Sue. Glad to see you tonight. And everybody else. If I don't personally thank you, you're still welcome. You're part of the gang. You're part of the folks who get together every Wednesday night to solve the problems of wood turners and spread our wisdom. Let's spread some wisdom. See it with one hand. See that little thing right there? That is what we use. Okay, let's close in on it. This is what we use when we build a tool handle and we want to insert. Now, the part you see on the right is the cap that goes to the butt of the handle. That when you buy it, it's shipped there like that. And I had it in the wrong position, but you can see the little set screw on the bottom. Now, this is not a very complex thing. And they're all over the place, except one of our members, pardon me, right now is asking where. I can't answer it. I have no idea where I got them at. I've got 4 or 5 more in a box out there that I found going through Trash and Treasures. And I have this. See, it's nice. It's a nice component. It's aluminum. It's got a set screw. Oh, I got this set screw. Does anybody know who's retailing this? Come on, jump on board.
Mark Soleil has them available. Mark Soleil.
Yep.
Oh,
Michael Hoslock also has a brand that he sells as well. And the wood turning tool store, Todd Raines in Texas, he also sells the one that Michael Hoslock retails as well.
okay.
I think Mark sells his for $6, I think, each.
But you got to put up that grumpy old guy when you order it.
He's a good guy.
DY Tools also sells them. Good. All right. See, we're getting those answers in. Will somebody throw that in chat for me, please? Because some folks may miss the meeting and they go to chat for information, because chat is posted on our website by our webmaster, David Rhodes, who is copying this program as we speak tonight, and he will put this on our website. Give him 4 or 5 days. He's got to work. But also, David is developing a contact list. I don't want to call it a membership roster. That'd be a very poor description of what we're talking about. It is a contact list, and if you wish to be on the contact list, remember, it's if you wish to be there. You in chat right now, go to chat, type in and tell Martin what you'd like to have. If you want it, name, address, phone number, website, Facebook, whatever. If you operate a company, we'd like you to stop at the website. We'll find it after that. But we want you to voluntarily give us this information because, I mean, Sue has called me asking, how can I get all of such and such? And Ronnie's called me and said, somebody's calling me looking for, we don't retain membership names, but this list will be on our website. as a secured PDF. You'll have to enter, you go to our website, request list. David, can you tell me what it looks like, please?
I'm sorry, the list is very simply, oh, you mean the access to it? Go to the
Yes, sir.
contact page,
The
and
content.
there's a little button you push, and after you push that button, it'll bring up a form, and it'll ask you to put in 3 items. It'll ask you to put in, well, your name, your email address, so it knows where to send it to you, and it'll ask you to put in as the subject, just a single word, Captain. Down below it wants you to put in some statements. And just above the form, it tells you there's only one statement you can put in there. Anything else it'll ignore. Then it's got
And
a
it's,
little check
it's
mark.
on the page.
It's on the page and it's really visible. I highlighted it.
Okay.
And
And
then it's got a little check mark that it wants you to uncheck. And all those silly things are intended to hide the website from, not the website, the form from hackers. They won't think about doing the unchecking. They won't think about looking up above to find out what that one line is. Any other statement won't work. They'll just send some silly email saying, send me the contact list, and I'll ignore it, or the website will ignore it.
We're not 100% bulletproof, but we're really,
We're
really
trying.
close. All right. Thank you, Dave.
Yeah.
And David does that for us. He's our master webmaster. And we are building the world's greatest wood turning website. And it's up to you. I'm putting a burden on your shoulders. If you say, you know what, I'd like to see an article on, email us. The club website's the club's email address is worldwidewoodturners@gmail.com. What you see below me right now is our website, and we're building that up. I'd like to have articles, photographs, ideas, tips, hints, all that stuff. And you don't have to be an artist. I mean, we're wood turners, we're talking. And if we're on the tailgate of a pickup truck out there showing each other what we can do, this is what we're doing. Get on the tailgate and show us.
Hey, Eddie,
I missed on one of the demonstrators. Mr. John's in line for a demonstrator, isn't he? John Brown?
yes, he is.
I didn't see that on.
All
the list.
right.
Yeah, in December.
Yeah, in December. See, we get way out there, way out there. I see Mr. Brown in tonight. Good evening, sir. Hope you're doing well.
Yeah, I'm doing fine, but I'm on there for December the 22nd, I believe.
Oh,
December
Christmas
22nd.
That's
present.
correct.
Yeah, and hey, it's a Christmas gift. It's coming early.
That's
When we
right.
do that one, we're going to start early.
Yeah,
Yeah. Because the residents, Mr. Brown, or the shop Mr. Brown uses, throws them out early. So we're going to get that demonstration. And thank you, Mr. Brown. I appreciate your input, sir.
thank you.
I think I'm doing a demonstration tonight. At least I plan to.
Yes, you are.
Yes, you are. So
Oh,
you're
okay.
you're up first tonight.
All right, great.
I said first because Dane, don't we have a second?
Yes, we do.
All right.
Uh-oh.
Mr.
yeah.
Clarkson.
So
So
Dane,
speaking of which, can you set
Go.
Martin to co-host?
Mouse
Martin
man,
Clarkson, two co-hosts.
mouse
Well,
man.
I've always been afraid of that, but that's okay. Martin
Who said that?
Clarkson.
Who said mouse man? Who said mouse man?
Yeah, one of those guys over there by you, Martin.
I
Did
heard
somebody-
that. I definitely
I think
heard
it
mouse
was
man.
Michael. I think it was Michael.
Yeah, I need to have a word with Eddie because we need to bar some of these Brits. We need to just this is a club that I come to. Who invited all of them?
No excuse.
No, Martin. No.
Oh, God, the Scots have joined us as well.
All right, but hey, we're here having fun. That's what counts. I look forward to this each week. We told you about that. Any information you wish to share, you can put in chat. We're very liberal about chat. If you have an IRD coming up for you or one of your friends, or you know of an IRD, I think Lyle Jameson's got a pay-per-view IRD happening right now. Lyle's a good friend. He's out of Traverse City, Michigan, and he does some really great IRDs. So does Cindy and other folks. So if you get word on that, there's no restrictions. Throw it in the chat, and we will all get a hold of it. Now, wait, I just said chat a minute ago. When you put your contact information in the chat for the contact list, our webmaster will eliminate that before he posts the chat to our website. So it's not like you're giving it to the world. You're giving it to David. Then David's going to protect it from the world. So I just, you know, we don't do member lists. We don't do registrations. I've had 2 or 3 calls this week again about forming a 501c3. I must have a target on my back for this stuff. And one guy said, "How can you exist without money?" I don't know. You got to ask 75 guys how we exist without money right now. Our demonstrator, Walt, is with us tonight. If you've got a gallery, Adam, our gallery master is Dane Chandler. You put in the chat, "I have something to show." Dane will go to that and he will get you lined up, and then he'll announce who's got something to show. Dane, do we have somebody up in the box tonight?
Not at the moment, unless something just recently popped in.
I didn't see it.
No, I haven't seen anything pop in yet, but we probably ought to get to our demos though.
Well, I'm going to do that. If we didn't have any gallery, I was going to crank up Walt right now to get started.
Would anybody like to see very quickly, like 2 minutes worth of seeing the contact list access?
Sure.
It might be easier than my description. So if you
Okay.
can share screen with me, I can allow me to share screen. I can try to show everybody what it's going to look like. There we go. So you go to the contact page, click this little button that says mail list request, and that thing pops up. And notice it tells you the exact sentence you've got to put down in here. So I would put in my name, and then I put my email in here, and then I'd say the subject is Captain. And then I would put in and then I'd unclick this and I'd say submit, and it would send me a link to where I can pick up the form.
And remember, you have to put that, you must put your email in order to
You got to
receive
put
it.
your email in. Right?
Thank you, Dave. Okay, I'm going to ask right now if anybody's got a question or comment. Our webmaster is up online right now, and he can help it out for you. This is by far the easiest way we can put the security we need on the information you're giving us. I don't want to be like the manuals of other groups that put everything out there. So we're sharing it. But before we go there, thank you, David. Appreciate that input, sir. Before we go there, we're going to go to Walt Wager's place because Walt is doing a demo for us tonight. And Walt has got to tighten up on the time a little bit because Martin's right behind him with the demo. And if we go to Walt right now, can somebody click it? Dane, can you click him up?
I got him.
All right,
Here we
there he
are.
is. Hi, Walt.
There he
Good evening,
is.
sir.
The magic
How you
of
all
Zoom.
doing? Well,
Hey,
tonight
Walt, thank you.
it's getting around Christmas time, and I make a lot of Christmas ornaments. And one of the ones I make is just called a hollow sphere ornament. It's nothing more than a hollow ball with a finial on that. Can be any size. These are about 2 inches. This one runs a little bit bigger, maybe 2.5, 2.75, 3 inches. And I'll do the ball and hollow it and in the finial and show how I assemble them tonight.
Thank you, sir.
All right.
Hey, Walt, real quick, just a little bit of housekeeping here. So I'm going to mute everybody, and then I'm going to need you to unmute yourself.
All right.
Okay. And muting all.
Okay, we're unmuted. I should be unmuted. Good?
Right now you are.
All right, so we start this with a cube of wood. The squarer it is, or the more cube it is, the better it fits in the chuck because we're not putting a tenon on it. The end grain is facing the tailstock. And I'm just going to capture that in there like that.
Walt, do you have a video director with you tonight?
Yes, sir. Excuse me.
Okay.
What
you
was the
have
question?
You have a video director with you?
Yes.
Yes,
Good. All right.
I'm looking at it.
Okay.
So first thing I'm going to do is drill a hole right through this cube of wood. And we're in Tom Kinney's shop, which is a beautiful shop. And through.
What size hole is that, sir?
It's a 1/2 inch hole, and the block's about 2.5 inches. This one, actually, I have a ruler here if you can find it. There it is. This one's 2.5 inches, and I'm going to make a mark. The only thing I don't have is a pencil. Anyhow, this is a 1/2 inch hole. That's what we're going to hollow through. And you can do this in a 3/8 inch hole if you want to challenge yourself, but there's no reason to. I should say there's no good reason to, unless you want to challenge yourself. So I'm going to just mark half of the distance on this. Give myself an idea. 1.5, 1 3/4. Right there. I'll be able to see that when it's turning. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to round off 1/2 of that, this front half. I'm using a 3/8 inch spindle gouge. And basically I'm making a bead.
Folks, if you're just tuning in, Walt is here with us tonight. He is turning an ornament. He's going to hollow it and show you it, show you the pieces.
All right. So I've come down to the center line mark here, and it's not completely round at that point. It's still there's still some flat spots in there. It's not critical at this point that it be totally round, but I'm going to just go a little bit further. I'll round off this edge. Now I'm going to hollow. Yes. Was there a
No,
question?
please go.
I'm going to hollow out this side. And what I use to hollow on something this small is a little Sorby swan neck tool. The tip of the tool is actually part of the metal here, so you don't want to put it on the grinder or it disappear very quickly. So I take a diamond file and put a burr on the edge of that tool. And it is basically a scraper. The same tool comes in a little larger size also. But I find for the small pieces like this, the smaller tool works better. I'm going to take this out so I don't poke my elbow with it.
Matt, may I interject? Folks that are looking at this tool and you say, I'd like to make one. The geometry of the tool is very critical. Look at where his cutting tip is in relationship to the shank.
Yeah, the cutting tip is right at the end of the curve so that it doesn't put torque on the tool while it's in there if I have the shank on the tool rest. So there's two important parts to that. One is that I'm cutting in the middle. Tool rest has to be a little bit. So I cut in the middle and the shank has to be on the tool rest. This piece of tape on here tells me that if I'm in that far and about that position, I've pretty much reached the middle of, can you see that on the top? I pretty much reached the middle of that piece. So that's kind of a mark that tells me where I am when I'm in there.
Speed, please.
No, blow some of the dust out of there.
Question about turning speed, it's about 700.
A question about turning speed, estimate around 700 to 900, somewhere in there. It doesn't have an RPM meter on this machine, but I don't pay much attention to RPM meters anyhow. I just kind of pick the speed that works for me, and not too fast, not too slow. I notice I'm just a little bit low. Now I have a little spring gauge here that this space is a 1/2 inch. At least it was, and check my ruler. Yep, still 1/2 inch. So if I put this in here, I can kind of gauge. If that's a 1/2 inch total, I guess I'm down to about a little less than 1/4 or about 1/4 inch. That's my thickness so far.
Hey, folks, those gauges are gonna be in our fall catalog.
You gotta have a coat hanger in order to make one of those.
Hey, don't give away the secrets.
Do you even find one that's not plastic anymore?
That's part of the secrets.
So one of the questions generally is, well, how thin do you have to make it? Well, you want to take the weight out of it as much as you can, but nobody's ever going to be able to see inside this thing, so they will not know. So suit yourself. All right, so we've got this side hollowed, and we don't have to make this side round, and we have to hollow this side. And so the question comes, well, how are we going to hold it in the chuck if this is round like that? And what we're going to do is we're going to put it into a jam chuck. Hello. In the jam chuck, sometimes it's just basically a piece of wood with a tapered hole in it. I don't know if I can get a better shot of that. There you go. And this one, it needs to fit in about up to close to 1/8 inch from the top. So this one's too small. This one is closer to right, and I knew by the size of the wood that it would be. And I've got 3 or 4 of these at home for different size ornaments. I'm going to put this into the we'll bring up the tailstock.
So where do you find the scrapers at?
Where do you find what?
The scrapers that you're using?
This is Sorby tool. They're online. They're not all that expensive. I don't remember exactly, but around $35 or something like that.
I have to say, beware of impersonators. Beware. I mean, we have folks that are bending tool steel.
Well, actually, you can make these things out of hex keys if you want to heat them and bend them, but you never really get the curve in them. You get a kind of a straight part. One of the things about the hole that I drilled, the 1/2 inch hole, why it makes it easier than a 3/8 inch hole is when you're inside, you don't want this part of the tool to hit this part, this side of the piece you're hollowing, because it's coming up, and if it catches that side, it'll twist the tool, even though you're out on the tool rest where you should be. So the hole has to be, there has to be enough room in there so that the tool can get around and stay on this side of the hole. Does that make sense?
Certainly.
Okay. I'm going to go back to my spindle gouge and make this round. Now I have to hollow this side. I want it to stay in the chuck. I'm going to give it a wrap with the dead blow hammer. And that will set it chuck so I can hollow the other side.
Okay, the first one I asked what weight hammer it is goes away.
Excuse me?
First one that asked what weight hammer it is has to go away.
Oh, the weight of the hammer. Oh, no. It's a Harbor Freight dead blow hammer. All right, so again, I want to get the tool out so that it's resting on the straight part of the shaft. And I'm just going to go and hollow this part. And the general question is, well, what happens when it comes out of the chuck? Well, it just kind of stays on the tool usually. If not, it falls on the floor. We'll see what happens. That should pretty much do it. Let's see what it looks like. I can take some more out in the middle. Get some of the dust out of here. Looks pretty even to me. So we'll take this out of here. I got it in there really good this time. There it goes. A lot of sawdust in there. There it goes. It's empty. All right. So now to finish this off, we'll get rid of this.
While
And-
Walt's coming at the plate, point out, look at his tool rest and to see that part that's right above the base on his tools on the shaft. That's called a cheater collar. And it is there so Doug has a reference as to what his center is for his tool rest, so he doesn't guess at it when he steps up to make a cut. He can see that he's above, below, or right on center with that cheater collar. They sell it for something else, but when we put it in a fall catalog, it'd be called the cheater collar. And Doug Mill is handling, Doug Smith is handling putting that catalog together for us.
Oh, okay. This is just a tapered jam chuck, and it gets used for so many different things. So I'll just have to tune it up a little bit here.
I don't know about you guys, but I can't use those cheater columns. I change my tool rest with every tool I use because they're different sizes, and I don't know. I don't use that sort of thing. So I don't know. My 2 cents.
I tried it and didn't like it. I've got a scored line around mine at 0 with the diamond tool. So I can see the scored line and I'll know if I'm above or below, but I think I'm with you on that one, Paul.
Yeah, and sometimes I run the skew on the top of the piece, so my tool rest is actually above the piece. So, there's a lot of different. I might change it with every tool. I mean, it would make a lot of sense if you're always using the same tool.
Or if you're a novice turner, and you're having a hard time judging it.
Sure.
All right.
Sure.
So the reason I said it didn't make a whole lot of difference before when if it's totally round is because you have to sand it and kind of smooth it out anyhow. And what I typically do for that is use a negative rake scraper. It's a flat negative rake scraper. Oh, it's a flat one. There's a rounded one. This one's flat. And I want to be cutting right at the middle.
It looks like a skew.
This looks like a skew.
Yeah.
Well, a skew on the side is a negative rake scraper, I guess.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's what Cindy Drozdon thinks, and it works pretty good for her.
Well, the trick of the thing is the burr on the top edge.
Yep.
If you're going to use a skew, you just have to sharpen one side, and you'll have a burr on the top edge. I got this locked in. There we go.
Notice the little twisties that are coming off. Those are fine little cuts.
I'll obey all the rules and stop the lathe while I'm moving the tool rest. I'm always watching the profile. That's going to tell me more about round than anything else. And again, this is a sphere. It doesn't have to be perfectly round. It could be oblong. It'll look just fine. And normally I go ahead and sand this starting with 120, 240, 320, 400, 600.
but I'll spare you that. I think for the purpose of demonstration, you all know how to sand, right?
We start with the hard stuff first.
Hey, what's sanding?
Yeah, I mean, look, Dean cuts that good. Why are you saying?
Well, I will show you one thing. In sanding, if you're not using a power machine or something, I'll start this with 180. You want to keep your speed down because this is a cutting thing. It's not you're not burnishing it. You're actually cutting in the surface. I don't want to do a lot of sanding because Tom's shop is just hasn't got any sawdust in it at all. And if you keep that speed down, it really cuts through that very quickly. And then just go on to the next grit, the next grit, and the next grit, and you're done. It doesn't really take all that long to sand, but I really don't want to get a whole lot of dust in his shop. So I'm going to call this part done and move on to the next part, which is the finial. To do that, I use a different type of chuck. It's a spigot chuck, or some people call them spigot chucks. I've seen them called other things. But basically, it has long jaws. And for a finial of a 2-inch sphere, I generally use a 6-inch piece of wood. For the finial the bottom finial will be 4 inches long, and the top finial will be whatever I can get out of the top piece of wood. And I put it in there the same way, basically just trapping it. It's square. I cut it on the table saw rather than the bandsaw. Well, this one looks like actually it was cut on the bandsaw. I might have lied to you.
Now, pardon me, I'm going to interject. If you think there's some wobble in about a minute, you won't think about that wobble.
I'm sorry, I didn't catch that.
If someone sees that it's a little bit off center and there's a little wobble to it, but in about 1 minute, that wobble that you have will not matter.
No. All you want to do is be sure it doesn't, when you put it in the chuck, that it's not loose, that it doesn't work back and forth. You'll hear vibration in a minute if it isn't tight in there, and I'll have to come back and retighten it. But I don't think I'll have a problem. And there's all kinds of roughing gouges, and you don't even need a roughing gouge necessarily with something this small. You can use a skew. But the first thing I do is I taper it from the part where I want to end the thing down to the bottom. So this is 4 inches long from here, from this mark down to here. I don't know if you can see the mark on the screen.
It's showing up quite nicely.
Is it? Okay. There you go. So I've tapered that part down, and next thing I use is a skew. This is about a little, maybe 1/8 of an inch on the, maybe a little bit bigger than 1/8 of an inch on the bottom, maybe 3/16. And I'll just form the finial. You gotta get the bevel on the wood before you let the cutting edge hit the wood. And I'm going to put a cove in here, and it's a lot easier to put a cove in something with a spindle gouge than it is with a skew. So I'm going to just switch over and do that. So basically, I have my finial form, and I just need to put a tenon on it that will fit into the hole in the sphere. And since I know it's a 1/2 inch hole, or at least that's the hole I drilled, it may be a little bit larger than the 1/2 inch hole, at least on this side, I might have blown it out a little bit. But I'm going to cut that down with the parting tool. I didn't bring. Table in the back. Back here. This one, black handle. Ah. And see, when you're going to a demo, you should always write down all the tools you need and then make sure they're in the box. Just wanted to reinforce that. But I'm going to put a tenon on here that's a 1/2 inch. How do I know it's a 1/2 inch? I have a 1/2 inch wrench. When that fits on there, you got a 1/2 inch tenon.
It's the second piece of cheating you saw tonight.
It's not cheating, it's called being smart.
Well, I'm hoping Doug Miller and Doug Moore puts that in our fall catalog in different sizes.
I'm sure getting blamed for a lot of stuff tonight.
Get what you earn. What?
Seemed like they were lacking last week, Doug.
All right, so the tool is sharpened on the edge. There's my 1/2 inch.
Now, Eddie, if you keep adding stuff to the fall catalog, you're gonna have to double my salary in order for me to keep with it.
I'll talk to the board.
Okay, you do that.
You guys take it easy on my credit card. You know I gotta have everything.
No. Billy Dillard says you have to have 2 of everything.
Oh, this is true.
Yeah, Dean came late to that.
All right, now.
Unless it gets misplaced, then you have to have 3.
Now we'll finish this off.
I'm really in trouble now then.
All right. Do you part that off now?
I'm gonna do a little bit of sanding and I'm gonna put a finish on it, and I'll show you how I do that with the glue. And
Okay.
then and the other thing that normally I do, I won't have to worry about it so much on this particular one because I have a pretty flat edge on both sides. But normally what I'll do is take a small skew. I'll do it anyhow, whether it needed or not, doesn't hurt. Take a small skew and come in underneath the back edge of this tenon of the bottom of the finial. I'll just come in.
Just to undercut it.
Yeah. And that will let it sit flat on the round surface. Otherwise, you have to flatten off the top surface. You can do that too on a sander. Just take and sand it flat, and then the flat will sit on the flat. But if you undercut it, generally you're in pretty good shape.
I heard that referred to as cupping at an AAW program or SWAT program. And then I was with Alan Lacer when 2 guys came up and said, looking for a cupping skew. Talk about screw up Alan.
Marketing.
Oh, yeah. But it's a good idea. It might be in a fall catalog, you know.
Yeah, right.
Okay,
Maybe the winter
for your toolbox, the next thing that's really expensive and you have to go out and really work at it. This is an old reciprocal saw blade and just a homemade handle, and then you cut it off and you've got yourself a less than 1/16 inch cutoff tool that works very nice. Oh, I said I was going to put a finish on it. I'll do that. And then when I do make Christmas ornaments, I make a lot of finials and do that all in one sitting and make a bunch of finials. And then I'll make a bunch of squares and do those. And then later on, when I put it together, I've got a glue thing here that's not, you have a point tool or something? Pointy tool. No. Tom's got everything. Good for me.
Tom has about 3 of everything.
So if I put just a couple drops of this Parfix 3408, which you had a program on this 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago?
Almost 3 years ago.
Yeah, we've
No,
had
no.
several of them. We've had
Oh.
several of them.
Yeah, well, the Parfix basically is a water thin super glue. You don't want it to be thrown it at you and just come along the piece like this. It doesn't dry very fast.
Gives you some working time.
Well, yeah, a lot of working time, but it actually sinks into the grain of the wood very nicely. And then the second coat, you can buff out, and it's unbelievable to me how fast it is compared to other like spraying and polyurethane and lacquer and all that other kind of stuff. If you use it, so this is ready for pretty much ready for the second coat now.
He's not using a glove either, Brenda.
No, I don't need the glove. It's not on my fingers. It's on the end of this pad.
Yeah, we've all heard that one. And look at Brenda. She's got a half a roll of paper towel stuck to her hand.
The thing that we used to have a phone that took your fingerprint, and I could never get it to turn on.
As a matter of fact, I've had that trouble this week.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, had too much glue on my thumb and the iPad will not open. Yes. Thanks, name.
Yeah.
All right, I'll cut this off. Set it aside. Now I have to do the top finial, and I have my 1/2 inch already marked out here because I cut it off a little bit short. So can you see that I still have a ridge there from my 1/2 inch tool?
Yes, we do.
Okay, so if I take a parting tool, that ought to fit. I'm going to give myself a little bit more room on the. I'm going to pull this out of here a little bit. And I usually make the top mirror the part of the bottom that goes into the finial. So it's basically just going to be a little OG curve here to the top. And I would sand that, and then, of course, I haven't finished this, because I'm not gonna do a lot of sanding, but I'll finish it at home. But that should fit onto there. It's a little bit tight, so I'll just cut it a little bit. I wanted to cut that. And then the final part is I assemble it on the lathe, and that way I've got a nice straight piece all the way through. So this is on the bottom, this is on the top, and on the, let's see if I can show you this. I drilled a hole in the top of the cone, 1/8 inch hole.
Third cheating, folks. That's the third cheating tonight.
A lot of cheating tonight. And that fits right in there like, I get it right here. That fits in there right like that. And I put glue on the top and the bottom and put it together, and I can finish it off and I'm done. Questions?
Very good.
Awesome
Really?
job.
Thank you.
Really
Thank you,
nice.
sir.
Well,
Very good.
So
how much-
they're
Make it look
overall-
easy.
they're
How
quick and
much does it
simple to
weigh?
make.
Hey, Walt, overall, all assembled, what's the approximate weight?
Oh, heck, I don't have a clue. They're very
7.6.
light. They really, I mean, I really can't tell what the weight is. It's very light.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah, sounds to. Passes the
they-
Dane test.
pardon?
Again, sir, thank you so much for your demonstration tonight.
Oh,
That was
you're-
pretty handy. And pay attention to those 3 cheatings that Doug had, that
Walt,
Walt had with us tonight, because those will work for other turning projects. And that's why we're here. Give you the shortcuts to make your turning easy. Again, Walt, thank you so much. I appreciate it.
You're
And
welcome.
we welcome other turners to get involved, to share with us what they do, what they can do, what they'd like to do, problems they're having. I've seen a couple of notes up here tonight on the chat. And hey, we have fun with each other, okay? So if Doug says something totally off the wall and Brenda comes sniping back at him, it's all right. It's okay. Not that they were talking about each other, okay? All right. Remember, we're on the tailgate having fun. Before we do another gallery, and we're going to get right to it in just a moment, then we're heading to the UK for Martin Clarkson that moused around with us a little bit. But before we do that, this week, one of our members, distant members, but we're all members, got a call about a wig stand. They were a person who is recovering from the big C, and they haven't had a need for a wig stand. Well, that member called another member. 2 guys working together, or 2 members working together. The second member took a wig stand out of his inventory, because he's still making wig stands, and he packaged it and mailed it to that lady who needed the wig stand. That's what you do. That's what we do. Boy, I was warm all over from that. So that's what happens here. If you turn a wig stand, though, there's no place to send them. You take them to your local oncology center, cancer treatment center, yada, yada, yada. you find one. If the hospital you're going to says we don't have a need for that, find another one. Some have some rules. Hospital near us can't take quilts unless we go get them professionally cleaned. Hey, it added to it, but we did it. Had a request in an email this week. Matt Harbor, your voice came up, or your name came up. They would like you to send or allow us to post some photographs of your camera holders. They want to duplicate what you have. And if you can, that's what we're here to do. We'll share it with everybody. We got a couple of gallery items lined up right now. And I'm going to go back to Dane Channel out of Tucson, Arizona. Dane handles our gallery. If you got something to show, please throw it in the chat. But let's make it a little short tonight so we can get right to Martin.
All right, Jim, you're up.
All right. Dean made a video of making an ornament. Mine didn't come out quite as round as his, and it's not quite as easy as he made it look. But it also got me in the Band-Aid Club.
Oh, man.
I know when that happens.
You know, Dean cheats. So what you did is pretty good stuff.
Dean really has a nice video. You need to watch that one.
He does a lot of nice videos.
All right.
Thank you.
Good job, man. Looks great.
Yeah.
Hey, James.
Just avoid the Band-Aid Club.
James Cassidy. Hello, James.
He's taking a
James.
nap.
Yeah,
We'll
we'll come back. It happens even to the best of me. All right, where we heading now, Dane?
Doug Miller.
Doug Miller.
Hey guys, got three things to show you real quick. What was it? Monday, I went up to Woodcraft. I was looking for a 1/2-inch skew on Cade's advice. I see Cade using a 1/2 inch all the time, and my 1 inch is just getting in my way too often. So I went to get one. They didn't have one. Came home yesterday. I ordered a 1/2 inch skew, and look what came in the mail today. That's a Doug Thompson 1/2 inch skew. I mean, less than 20, well, just about 24-hour turnaround on that. That's tremendous service.
Wow.
Doug lives 3 doors down. Why did it take so long to walk over and give it to you?
No, he doesn't. He lives in a different state. It's the next state, but not far. It's not that far, but it did come UPS the next day. Last week, I was going to show this one. We ran out of time last week. This is 11 1/4 inch by 2 1/2 inch walnut, black walnut that I harvested myself a number of years ago. On the back side, it's got a nice bark inclusion on the back. And there's one, where is it? One on the edge here somewhere. Anyway, yeah, right there it is. Little bark inclusion right there on the edge. But that's a giveaway. I reached 500 subscriptions on my YouTube. And so this one's going to be given away next Friday. So if you're not subscribed and you want to be a part of it, that's the way to do it. And then yesterday, I was trying out a new microphone to see if it would work. It doesn't, but I was able to make a video anyway of turning this one. This is what I say, 4 1/4 or something like that, by 1 7/8, something in that neighborhood. Anyway, that's just a simple wax finish on Ipe. I had a little block of Ipe that was sitting there, and so I just used it. There's the part you like, Eddie.
Or I.
That little 2 inch right there.
That's nice.
It's on both sides. And
I love that
it really
tutorial.
is
That
a
is
nice
nice.
little bowl.
Wait, Doug. That's pretty.
That's some dense hard wood, but it turns beautifully.
Yes, it does.
Doug, I watched that video earlier today, and that, man, that was, oh my goodness. I almost heard supper because I couldn't turn it off.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Thanks, Doug. Moving
Thank you,
along.
sir.
Let's go to Gary. Hey, Gary.
Yeah. Okay. What's the, it's showing up on my, okay. I have a daughter-in-law who just had a birthday, and she wanted a, well, she didn't, she just wanted a rolling pin.
Husband
So,
beater.
I came out and, yeah, right. I came out and and made one that it's on a diagonal, I guess you'd call it. But anyhow, it's made up of Paduke, maple, cherry, zebra, purple heart, and walnut. And
Very nice.
That's
just
gorgeous.
That's
came out-
beautiful, beautiful.
the first one I made. They said if you get it to come out where you have a circle on the handles that you did it right. So I guess I did it pretty close to right because I got 2 circles or pretty close to 2 circles.
That is gorgeous.
That
Yeah.
is nice.
Very nice.
I don't know who wrote that rule about making it look right. I think it's gorgeous.
It's
Don't worry about that rule.
Yeah,
And
that's
it's
the first
just
time
got,
hearing that.
it's just
That's
got
too nice
walnut
to
oil.
use.
Yeah, it's just got walnut oil on it. That's all I put on it.
If your daughter-in-law don't like
Very
it,
good.
hey, I'll take it.
Nice job,
Yeah, right.
Gary.
Okay.
It's
you, Gary.
beautiful. Just beautiful.
All right, let's move along to Dino.
Good deal. This is the ornament that Jim was talking about a while ago. It's let's see if I can get
Hackberry.
on here.
And ebony.
Yeah, hackberry and ebony. And that spalted hackberry I thought would be a good contrast with the ebony.
Yeah,
Oh,
is
it's nice.
pretty
It's
stuff.
very nice. Very
Didn't-
nice.
Didn't take my wife but about a heartbeat to claim it. Of course, I kind of
Me
knew
too.
that was coming before I brought it in, and that's one of the reasons why I turned it as thin as I did. That bottom part is the thin part. There's just a little bit past a 16th, right about a 16th of an inch.
Very nice.
Wow,
And
very
so-
nice. Don't drop it. Don't drop it.
No, don't even say that, Captain.
Really nice, Dean.
Thank you,
Very
guys.
Very good.
Dean.
Thank
Very
you.
nice, very nice.
Now, while we're chatting here, folks, we talk, we solicit folks to talk about their website and YouTubes, etc. If you do YouTubes and you place them on the channel, if you'd like your channel listed on our contacts or on our newsletter, on our web page, all you have to do is send the information to our webmaster. We've been doing that since almost day one. And it's because it lets us contact other turners. So anybody else in the box?
No, sir. I think we're ready to go across the pond.
Well, in just 1 minute, let them get geared up. I'm going to show you the gallery that we could not do last week because I screwed up. But I've got the gallery up right now. This is from last week. This is from a demo that Dane did for us.
Yeah, it was a beautiful demo.
Thank
And
you.
then Brenda tried to copy what Dane did. You see what happens around here? You teach somebody something.
Love the inspiration.
Absolutely.
I mean, look at that.
Very nice, Brenda.
But you
That
know,
was your first time trying a three-edge projectile, right? Right, Brenda? And it stayed on your lathe?
Yes,
Yeah.
it stayed on the lathe and I didn't get hit. No Band-Aids.
but
Wait a
she
minute,
wasn't.
what? Did Brenda just say no Band-Aids?
No
That's right.
Band-Aids.
Something's wrong.
Well, they make tourniquets for that.
No bird wood on that piece.
That one either. I think that one originally came off before I started turning it.
That one got your finger.
Yeah, that one got my wrist.
Ouch.
It's still gorgeous, Brenda.
It
It,
is.
it is. It's gorgeous.
This is Mr. Brown put this one out for us. He's going to teach us this
He's
technique.
going to show
on
us how to do
December
that on the
22nd.
22nd of December.
Yes, I gotta see that. And then Gary was just showing a piece. I think this is the same piece. I see the circles on the handle.
Yeah, it's the same one.
Beautiful piece, beautiful. And then Billy's trying to raise a little money to pay for a new roof. So he made this little jar. You can see him at the third stoplight on the corner.
Love that purple and yellow.
Oh, yeah. David Swain sent this in. I got a couple of photographs of this because this is, this gives you an idea of it, but in a moment you'll see the detail of it. Look at the detail.
Wow.
I'm trying to get David to attend.
That's gorgeous.
Yeah, it is beautiful.
And then
Is that
Doug
drawn
Rowe.
on or pyrographed?
There's that pumpkin.
There's a pumpkin Doug Rowe turned for us a couple of weeks ago. Came out. Oh, wait, that was his first try. And remember, folks, this is a gallery. It's not a challenge. You're seeing or looking at the work that other turners have completed. And there's no high, low, medium scale, none of that. It's all the work our turners do. And that's why we gather to share information, share our work. There's no bragging. There's no one better than the other, anything like that. It doesn't happen. It's just a matter of, what do you got? Let's see it. Right now, we're going to jump over to the United Kingdom because our second demonstration of the week is going to come from Martin Clarkson. Martin, are you set up and ready to rock?
I am, Eddie. What I've done tonight, because it's 2 o'clock in the morning, earlier on in the week, I put a quick video together. Because I don't have all the cameras and equipment like some of the other turners have, I thought we'll have a look and see if we can do something just on a mobile phone, just to try and get people involved. So I've put a demonstration together for you.
I'm all for that.
Well, it's about 28 minutes long.
Right?
If anybody's got any questions or anything, we can answer questions afterwards, or if you want to type them in the chat. But hopefully I should be able to just play it. And we just need to make sure that you've got sound or will have sound.
And we've got multiple on, so you should be able to go.
Thanks for doing this too, Martin. Move it to
They
the
are
right.
your
There you
Is that better?
Yes.
And I've done it on my phone because I don't have the camera set up around the lathe like some of the other guys do. The reason I'm doing a demo is because I feel that, as Eddie always says, if we get ourselves involved in the club, we all want to learn from each other. The demo that I'm going to give is a very basic demo. I was asked a couple of weeks back to make some mice for a shop house that's going to start selling bags of flour. And she wanted some mice to sort of add into the shelves where the bags of flour are. Mice are not something that I've ever turned before. What I tend to do is if somebody asks me to turn something, if it is a tangible thing like an animal, I will look on the internet and I'll start studying shapes. You can look at the internet to see what everybody else has turned, but then you're going to produce something like everybody else. I tend to look at the animal and see if I can come up with something. And then if it's the same as everybody else's, or if I'm doing something along the same lines. But ultimately, it just gives you the opportunity to work your own things out. When it comes down to sizing things, everything that I put on the lathe, I cut to size. So I decide what sort of size I want it at the end, and I cut my blanks accordingly. That means that I'm not doing too much turning on the lathe, but ultimately it's quicker for me to produce and it's easier to size for me. So tonight's demo, we're just going to cover two mice, two ways of turning them. They are pretty much identical, but the blanks, as you can see, are smaller. This one's going to be sort of standing up. This one's going to be running along. This one will end up with a fridge magnet. So we'll start with the litmus first, with a fridge magnet. Now, on the fridge magnet, I already know that I want a flat on the bottom. I can turn it round and I can shape it, but ultimately it's easier for me to try and keep that flat on the bottom, and then I can sand it off accordingly. I can also get the most out of the timber. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to mount this on the lathe and I'm going to put it just slightly off centre. Pull the tail back a little bit. I want to put it just slightly off centre. Like that. Now then, before I start turning, I just want to go over safety points. I don't want to lecture you on you should do this and you should do that. But ultimately, wood dust and lungs don't go together. So at least have some type of respirator or something or some way of removing some of the dust from your workshop. I have seen people turning in flip-flops. That's not a good idea because if something heavy does go off the lathe, like a tool, and it drops onto your phone, it's going to have a problem. And at the very least, have something to cover your eyes. On this demo, I'm just going to use my glasses, and I am not going to put my respirator on because you probably don't understand my English as we are. The last thing I need is to be. So we'll move on without the respirator. Because I've left the flat on the bottom, you can't touch it with your tool to see if it's round, because obviously it's not round, it's going to have a flat. What we need to do is stop the lathe just to make sure that the top is now curved. And as you can see, what we've got is a flat here and a nice curve at the top. So now we can start shaping them out. So I'm going to take another little cut off there because I still think it's a little bit big. So I'll just take a cut off. But predominantly, I've started shaping with my roughing gouge. Spindle roughing gouge is probably one of the quickest and easiest tools to use going from square. I could have started with a skew chisel. I just want to touch on my skew chisel because many people talk about skew chisels, and it seems to me that over the last couple of years, the skew chisel is the go-to tool to be mastered. And I have no problem with that, but when I started 7 years ago, the skew chisel was something that was to be avoided. Only wood turners open cans of paint with it. So it has moved forward and people do want to master it. And I certainly wanted to master it. So a couple of 3 years, 4 years ago, I bought myself a skew chisel. And when I bought this skew chisel, and you buy them from any of the manufacturers, they all do exactly the same thing. They don't give you instructions. You don't buy a tool that says, use it this way. And often the tools are not sharpened the way that you might be able to be working with them. So I started using the skew chisel, and like many people, I was getting these beautiful spirals right away across the work. And I couldn't really understand why. I kept sharpening my tool, and as I was sharpening it, I decided that I wanted more of an angle on it because I was never quite sure where the toe and the heel is. So by putting more of an angle on it, I could see which way was which. From then, when I started using it, I was still getting these spirals. And in my head, I decided that as I was cutting along the timber, the reason I was getting these spirals is because I was getting a catch on this top because I've got this point sticking up. And I figured that that's what was hitting the timber. And because nobody was there to tell me any different, it was only what I was thinking, I decided that by turning it over, that point would be down and I would be able to work with it. So that's how I started using the skew. And it was only when I went to a demonstration and I spoke to a man who was using a skew very prolifically. And he said to me, he said, Martin, that skew, you're trying to use the skew upside down. He said, it doesn't work like that. So he started to show me how the skew works with a point up. I now find that I don't even realise whether my point is up or down. What I do look for is which part am I using. And that really is the key. So for me, even when they say, I mean, I have mine very skewed now because this point is my my best friend, and you will see as I'm turning, I use this point an awful lot. So I'm not one to teach you how to use the skill, but you will find your own way, and as long as it is safe, be careful, stay safe. That's all I say. So I'm going there with that point of that skill and drop it right down and then go right over into that corner, and that will come right over onto itself and then drop onto the other side. Or you're almost doing a scraping cut there, but you are removing the timber very quickly. I don't want to go too close to its nose there. So just pick up that finishing cut, around that corner. Put them in a little bit further, if you don't want too much standing off there. Let it part off. Put up a little bit of sandpaper there somewhere.
If you're experiencing any difficulty understanding, Martin, you can turn your subtitles on.
What we're
by
looking
li-
for is almost like an egg shape, little egg shape. We've lost our flat on the bottom, but that's not a problem. What we want to do now is just drill a small hole just near the point. See there, like that. And then with a pencil, just mark across the top. Line these up. If you've got a spindle rock, now is the time to use it. So just drill that small hole in there. And a small hole in that side. And the line is just to try and keep them clear. Right, we'll just sand that off a touch, get rid of the line. I'll do it with a little bit of sand and paper on there. And then you can apply any finish that you want to last minute. Just wipe that off with a cloth, let it soak in a little bit. On these, I tend to stay the lacquer. So that's that one. I'll just go a little bit closer on the nose. Yep. And we'll pop that one aside. Now we'll drop onto the larger one. So this one wants to be centered because this one's not going to have a flap. And to center, you will notice I don't do the points. I just try to line myself up as close as possible to center. And I give it a spin around to make sure it's lining up okay with my tool there. Straight in with a roughing gouge because there's no point in going in with anything else. and in with a screw exactly the same as before. Tight as we can with that back. Got a smaller screw here. This is one of my favourite ones, this one. It's a round bar screw and it allows me to move it all over the place. Shavings. Burn this out a little bit. Put your salmon seal on it. Put that a white one. That just helps. It stops the lacquer going into it afterwards. And then same again. What we want is a little hole at the bottom. Somewhere there. Pull it through. Couple of marks to make sure my ears aren't wonky. One here. And one here. And then we'll just go as close as we possibly can to this, and as close as we possibly can to the front, just to release. And take that off, like that, and that bit can stay on there. Right, I'm just going to pop the drive out and put a chuck on. Any chuck will do. The next part. The next part I made up a sanding pad. It's literally a piece of offcut of elm, this particular one is. And what I've done is I've cut various grooves in. And the various grooves means that whatever chuck I've got in the lathe, I should have a groove to fit it to make sure it's right. Stuck to it with super glue is a bit of Velcro, and then I buy these little round discs and put these little round discs on. And that now will go into the chuck. Just like that. And that creates me a little sanding pad. Turn my speed down a touch and just touch his bum up and his nose. And the other one, touch your nose up and his bum. And for this one, we're going to have to put the flap back on. So I'm just going to touch it on there and put the flap back on because it's a bit smaller than the flap that I left. That's it. So all I've done is put a little bit of a flat on there. Now, I'll go over to my bench. I want my drill. In the back here, I'm just going to put a small hole. Then the tail's going to go. And the same for this one. So his tail's going to go. Ah, this one's different. What I haven't done, I wanted to show you this one separately. So, first of all, we need rid of that. We need rid of the pencil line that's on there. If we don't want that. And the rubber would have been better to get rid of the pencil line than sandpaper. But I haven't got my rubber with me. Just take that like that. And now his nose is there, where his whiskers are going to go. And we're going to take the bottom. So I'm going to stand him, and I'm going to take the bottom off at an angle. Like so. Just a touch more. Just so that it'll stand up. That's it. Yeah. So this guy would get lacquered. He would get lacquered at this point before I put anything else onto him. Lift the side of the ears on this one. That's 6 mil. Right. Yeah. And now we're going to have a tail. Right, this is felt. Sometimes you can buy it's a leather, acrylic, whatever really you want. I prefer this, and it's felt. It's just well, they're just sheets of like a fibrous material. And what I do is I use a ring cutter that I put down and I hit it with a hammer, and it cuts these little circles out from it. Is what I've done with that. So I've cut myself some little felt circles. The larger ones are for the larger one, and then I've taken the same size ones and I've just cut them down slightly as the smaller ones. This is a little pot that I bought off Amazon with a metal rod that feeds in, and I've filled this with PVA glue. A lot of people use super glue. I found with the super glue it was coming back out the hole and it was making a bit of a mess. So I prefer my way, and this is using a wood glue, but it does mean that you're going to have to leave them set a little bit longer. So I put some glue in the hole, and then just lay the circle and use the end to push it in, and it creates an ear. It just turns itself into what is an ear form. So that's that. This is standard fishing wire. And all I do with this is kind of make it Making into a bit of a loopy sort of thing. Like that. That would be off. Take the one in. And thread that through there. We've got a bit of fishing wire at each end, and then again I use my little bit of glue pot and I squeeze it into there until it just comes out, and then I chop the twisters off at an angle. Like so. This is a bit of it's actually cord. You should be able to buy all of these things in somewhere like Walmart fairly cheaply. As you can see, it's synthetic. It's, you know, it burns and just melts together very easily. And all I'm going to do is again put that into that little hole at the back. Use my little glue tube. Use it into the hole until it comes out. And chop it off at the length I want. And then I always again turn it to stop it fraying. And that's that one done. Exactly the same procedure with the smaller one. Obviously, it's a little bit more fiddly. Oops. In fact, is my hole too thin? No, my hole's not too thin. So yeah. This is a very small hole. This is about 3 mil. Plug them into there at the end. And this one, you just set your ears up so that they're about the same at each side. And again, you can have as much or as little fishing wire as you want. I sometimes put 3, sometimes 4. Sometimes I fold it over and there's 4 on one side and 3 on the other. I don't think my customers would notice. I'm not sure if I would notice. Like I say, it doesn't matter how long they are to start with, because you can chop them off. And then you're going to have a little bit of cord in the back of that. And with this one, all that I would do is I would drill a small hole in the bottom and I would put a magnet into there. And the ones I use are earth magnets, and they are 2 seconds.
Those are brilliant.
They're these ones, and you can buy them at different sizes. So these are about 5 or 6 mil. So you can drill a 5 or 6 mil hole into the base of the mouse and just mount that straight in, because they work really well just at the ends. So you can push that into there and then just fix that. So there you are. That's demo over and done with, and my bit finished with. First and last demo, probably. Hopefully you've enjoyed it, and well, to make mine great. And if I've inspired you to look at the design design and come up with something different, please come back onto the meeting and show us. But in the meantime,
Adorable.
stay with me.
Adorable.
Very good, Martin. Thank you.
Yeah, they're
Mark-
adorable. I love it.
Mark
Great
was on the
job,
share
thanks.
screen because he videotaped this.
Great job, Martin.
Excellent
Thanks,
job.
Martin.
Brilliant.
Really
Mark-
great. I
Mark-
like that.
Thanks, guys.
Good.
If anybody's got any questions, because I couldn't see the chat, but it was a lot easier for me to do a quick video like that to try and get across. And it does show you that you can, in your workshop, just use your phone, get some help from the wife, or in this case, it was my daughter that helped me do a bit of videoing. And we did come up. You saw the mistakes during the video because I don't edit it. I just managed to put it straight on. So come forward and get some demos registered for the group.
Thank you, Martin.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Thanks
Nice
for
job,
watching.
Martin. Nice job,
Excellent.
Martin. I bet Tuesday off it's not live.
Hey, Michael, when are we signing you up?
Uh-oh, did Michael say something?
No,
Yeah.
Michael will have run.
Yeah. And I'm gonna hit him up and do a box, threaded
Yeah.
box.
Okay.
That's the one.
Yep.
I'm only the manager. I don't do demos.
Oh, yeah,
I only
there's
do
always a
it
first
for
time.
money.
That's what Martin said.
Hey,
That's
Michael,
right,
it
Martin, that's right.
increases your pay.
That was
Martin,
excellent.
Martin, when you said it was off center, was it off center on both sides or just one
So it's
side?
off center on both sides to leave you the flat at the bottom. And you'll have noticed that I was purposely leaving the flat, but halfway through that design, I felt it needed to be smaller. So I lost that flat. So the purpose of creating it disappeared, but you did see both ways of being able to create it. If something has a flat, I like to try and leave a flat because you'll get the best of the timber. But yeah, offset both sides, just slightly off center will leave you a flat on the base.
Thank
What
you.
size blank did you start with?
What size blank? 1 3/4 inch. I will have it written down because whenever I'm doing something, and it's one of the things that I always say to people, when you're doing something and you make something, write the size of your blank down, because if it ends up too big or it ends up too small, you know where you started. So it was 1 3/4 on the large one, and it was inch on the smaller one. But the inch I thought was still just that bit too big, which is why I took another cut off it.
What finish did you put on that?
And I would use lacquer. I would finish them with lacquer before I started adding any of the extras. I didn't in this case. What I did was put some sand and sealer on and then went straight into adding the ears just for the demo purposes.
And what did you use for the tail?
That's a bit of, actually it's pull cord, light pull cord. You can buy it in various colors and I buy it in black or brown. The same as the felt. You can buy the felt in numerous colors, but again, if you buy it in black or brown, then you can have your ears to match your tail. Fishing wire, I've got no idea what size it is. It was the only one that I found on the shelf and thought that would do.
Well, you're picky.
Yeah.
That's the way to do it.
Yeah.
Whatever turns up.
That's right.
Yeah.
Thank you, Martin. That was excellent, folks. Excellent demonstration from one of our members. It could be you. You see, Martin had the shot on his iPhone and he had his daughter do it. If you don't have a daughter, check with your granddaughter. They can all work it out. And we appreciate the input from the United Kingdom, part of Worldwide Woodturners. That's our website. And our email is worldwidewoodturners@gmail.com. If you want to get a hold of us, put something in. Before we go back to gallery tonight, I want to mention that we are developing a contact list, not a membership list. It is a contact list. This is where you, the turner, can decide to give your information to other turners. And the way we're working is pretty simple. In the chat, put the information you would like us to have. There's no rule. Name, address, phone number, email site, YouTube site, whatever. What you think needs to be in it. It's non-commercial. What you think needs to be in that chat list, in our contact list, put it in there. Our webmaster, David Rhodes, will take that information and put it in a document. To receive that document, if you missed it tonight, there's a spot on our website where you can go there and click on it and say request and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. The password is Captain, CAPTAIN. And it's as secure as we can get it. There are no instant links and all that on the list. It is a list, and you have to enter their email address or dial their phone number, et cetera, et cetera. That's why we developed this contact list. And I talked about chat just now, and we invite you to put something in chat. And I'm looking over it right now. Cade Bolger, who's one of our regulars on this club meeting, says he's got an IRD lined up for November 13th. So if you want to attend a really, really, really good IRD, check out Cade's program. And it's all on his website, and then information's in our chat tonight. Oh, by the way, when you put your information in the chat, it's going to disappear before it gets posted on our website. So it's not public. It's if you put the information, our webmaster deletes that information before you post our chat. We don't want to give any botters your information. We're working very hard not to have that happen. And earlier we had a little thing about Freedom Pens, and we honored Wes Black, who wrote the check and gave it all. And we have a lot more members out there and a lot more potential folks that need to share our thank you with. And that's how we do it on Freedom Pens. If you turn a pen, you send it to one of our links on our website, and they will personally hand that pen to a working troop. That's what we do. And more details, if you need them, email me at worldwidewoodturners@gmail.com. I think we're pretty much caught up. We have demos lined up by Paul Hannaby, Dean Grimes, Billy Doit, Bob Moffett, Dane Chandler, John Brown, and whoever else Dean Chandler can talk to get a demo lined up for your wood turning club. But speaking of Dane, we need to go back to gallery, correct, Dane?
Yes, we've got one more at the moment.
Who is that?
Well, it would be Tim. Hey, Tim.
Hey, good evening.
Tim.
How's everybody doing?
All right, Tim,
Good.
you put something in chat. Explain it.
Yeah. Okay. So a couple things. These are a couple of the ornaments that I've turned recently. I don't know if you guys remember that captive ring that I turned with the skew. That's the ornament that got attached to. But what I put in chat was a couple weeks ago, I talked about a little light you can attach, using this cheap Harbor Freight tool.
Hey, be careful about saying cheap Harbor Freight, okay?
It was free. I had a coupon for it. Anyway, so the light bar, as you can see, works real well. You got this free magnetic light from Harbor Freight, and all I did was I just literally disassembled the light, attached the wire long enough that I can keep it out of the way on my lathe, and then soldered it all back together. On the back side here, a couple little magnets, hot melt glue on the back of it, fits on the back of my tool rest. And I did put a link earlier in chat after Brenda and I kind of chatted back and forth about did anyone want to see that tool rest light there. So that's what I had.
I like it. Thank you for sharing that.
It wasn't the $70 one that I see on some of the places, and it's not the remote control one that Cade had that he showed last week during his demo, which by the way is awesome. But like you, Eddie, I do things on the cheap when I can. So
hey, you got to go where you can go. No difference. Thank you, Tim. Appreciate you showing tonight. Sharing that little light. That's got to be nifty when you're doing hollow. Really got to be nifty.
That's a great idea, man. That's a great idea.
Yes, it is. Great
And
job.
I've talked about hollowing pieces, but even
and
doing
I
the
got
inside
that
of
from
bowls.
a website, like I said, one of the guys that I occasionally pop in and watch his videos and everything. So if you get a chance, pop in and see some of his other videos.
And that name would be,
His name's Larry. I don't remember his last name. He's got the beaver tool.
okay.
Yep.
Good stuff.
All right.
Thanks, Tim.
All right, showing it off here tonight, folks. We're sharing information. Who's up next?
Brenda.
Uh-oh.
Thanks, Tim.
Hi,
Oh,
guys.
Brenda.
I made some ornaments today.
Sweet. Oh, cute.
Oh, neat.
I got a little smudge on the side of his face, but and then I got 3 of them.
Oh, they came out cute.
Yeah, those
Yeah.
are cool.
Not
Good
too
job.
bad. Not too bad. I like this one. This one's kind of got a little knot in the side of him.
Oh, I like that.
That's
What's that?
character.
What's
That's
that
very
face
cool.
on? What's the face on the inclusion?
What do you see?
There's
I see a butterfly.
Tell me.
Warning dove.
See a
I
little
see a
bird.
bird
Like a
in
duck.
flight.
like a rabbit.
Eyeball.
Looks like a
Check out
rabbit.
What did you make the nose from? What did you make the nose from?
Yeah, where did you get those tiny carrots, Brenda?
I got them on Amazon last year.
Those are actual carrots?
No. They look
Oh.
You should have said yes.
Hey,
We'd all run to Amazon.
You could have got some mileage out of that, girl.
Yeah.
did you
Brenda-
shop for that in the vegetable and produce department of Amazon or
Yeah.
tools?
I know I cooked those tonight.
All
My
right.
grandson don't like this one because his nose sticks up.
I like it.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, he
They look
smelled
cute.
something. He
Now,
smelled something.
I really expected Brenda to jump in when Doug Miller was showing that bowl earlier. What did you see, Brenda?
I can't describe it. I don't know. It's like a face, arms, and I don't know. It looked like an upside down turtle.
Uh-huh.
All right, a upside down turtle. We'll go with that one. Thank you,
All
Brenda,
right.
for sharing tonight.
All right.
Folks, as you can tell, we kid about anything.
All right, let's go back to James and see if he's back with us again.
James?
Hi
Hey,
there.
James.
Hey, James.
This is a little coloured pot, which
Oh,
is
very
made out
nice.
of apple with the grain scorched a little and then treated with some of interesting colours and then sealed and then a green embellishing wax.
Very
And
nice.
then finished off with a high gloss wax.
It's
Nice.
beautiful.
Gorgeous.
And then I've done virtually something very similar.
Oh my.
Ooh, I
Sculpted
love
the
that.
top,
I see a
Hey,
spider or an
Yeah,
octopus.
I see the spider.
Yeah. Way to go, Eddie.
That looks really good.
Eddie's coming around, Brenda.
Yes.
I think
Means
this
I
one's
need to
ash,
go-
I think. Yeah, ash.
Yeah.
That
I
is
like
beautiful.
That's it.
All right,
Oh,
thank you.
All right, thank you, James.
Nice job.
Only proves I need to go back to my therapist. That's all.
Nice.
And
Hey, Terry.
Hey, Terry,
Yeah.
there's he is.
I've been doing a couple of little things. For one, I've been spending a lot of time at the dentist, and we got one of the dentist girls who's having a baby, so I made a rattle. I had to make 5 or 6 before I got one I liked. This is not the one that I gave her, but made a couple of them. And then I made a cupcake, well, a muffin. A piece of, and you see it pretty good, it's a burl off of a piece of wood that I found. I don't know what it is. I'm not sure. There's a bunch of them around. There's some kind of ornamental trees that died over the freeze. And I got a bigger piece out of it and started to make a hollow vessel, and it wound up in the trash can twice because it wasn't working well, and it busted apart, and I put it back together and made the hole a lot bigger. I thought, well, as long as I got a big hole, I can make a top for it. This is also out of it's a burl, but I don't know what it is. It's found wood. but it's come up a lot of character to it. So I went and made a mesquite top to it. I'm not sure that I really liked it, but the more I looked at it, the more I liked it. So I went ahead and put it on there. It's got a little flame on the top. Come out kind of nice for just a little project. And then I played around. I had a little more time between things, and I made a little mushroom. Actually made quite a few of them. But that's pretty much all I got.
It's really
Very
nice.
very nice, very nice. Everything.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we see some beautiful
Very
art
nice.
tonight. Whoa. I wasn't quite ready for that.
Hey, Eddie.
Hey, Kate, are you okay?
Darth Vader.
Yeah,
He just changed the diaper.
That's what I was getting ready to say. He's on diaper duty.
yeah, exactly. I had a couple. I could have used this today.
What's up
While
this
I'm
evening?
here, I might as well show what I had been doing here.
Might as well.
So here I have a couple ornaments. I'm just doing. They're out of acacia for my customer who had the acacia countertops and the acacia rolling pins and dumpling rolling pins and all those. So now he needs an acacia, a couple acacia Christmas ornaments. So I'm just doing a couple different shapes. And then I'll show you the other side on my finishing side. It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas.
Wow.
So here's a couple here. These are made of acacia. My camera might be a little dirty. Oh,
That's
there
fine.
we are. There's the light.
Is that on a pen mandrel?
Yeah, it's good use for one.
Yeah, it's on a pen mandrel.
Mandrel saver.
Yeah, the pen saver mandrel. So the mandrel on the inside actually goes into the headstock. So it doesn't actually bend. It'll actually never bend your mandrel or
Prevents
ruin your
flips.
mandrel.
Because it's entering a hole in the tailstock, not a point. Correct?
Exactly.
So those are acacia. When I get finish on them, the grain really pops, and I can show you the square one I did. So then I'll flip, and I got a few things all hanging from my ceiling. So here I'll just flip my camera again. And here we are.
Wow.
A lot
So
of
then-
color. I like that.
Oh, yeah.
Couple of those.
Gorgeous.
And then
Okay,
here,
Dane, when he goes back up there to show the ones on the left again, sign them up.
Oh, we're already talking about it.
Okay.
Beautiful.
Wow.
and then here's some more up here.
Very nice, Cade.
I love the colors.
Oh, they're gorgeous.
I love everything about them, but I mean, I really love the colors.
Beautiful.
So these are all done and going to the galleries just before Christmas season. There's about 55 of them. And I did them one morning with the skew. So I'm just in the process of finishing them all. And my other finishing table is down here with all my boxes, bowls, bird mouth, hollow forms, a wide variety of items for different shops, stores, galleries, and customers.
Very nice.
Wow. So just a couple hours of turning there.
Just a couple.
Yeah. And then he went and had
the
breakfast.
Christmas ornaments were 3.5 hours to do the 55
Nice.
on a
Using-
production day.
Using a pen mandrel. It's amazing what we come up with.
Yep. And a
Uh,
skew.
All right.
And it's cute.
Thank you, Cade. Beautiful. Good to
Thanks,
see
Cade.
Cash out tonight. Well, Cash was out what time we saw him tonight. It's so
Hey,
nice.
Cade,
Go ahead,
Yeah.
Ronnie.
Hey, Ron.
how did you holler the ones on the pin mandrel?
They're hollowed with a drill bit. I don't hollow them totally. So the maximum diameter would be 2 by 2, and then the finials would be whatever length I desire. So they're not overly heavy at all,
Oh.
weighing down branches. But if they were much bigger or more bulbous than the 2 inches, I would definitely hollow them out with a small swan neck hollowing tool.
Good, good. All right, thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Congrats
work.
on your grandson, or was it?
Yeah, that's my grandson. Yeah.
Yeah,
that's
congratulations. That's a good
Thank
good
you, thank you.
accomplishment for sure.
We get the references right.
Okay,
We
I'll see you
refer to him,
Monday.
refer to Ronnie as grandfather Marine and the Marine as Marine. We gotta get those titles right. Or we messing with the Marine. Okay, our gallery, you've seen our gallery tonight, just so you understand, it's not a challenge. What you've seen are the photographs that our members have sent in to worldwidewoodturners@gmail.com. Gotta say, I can't take it any other way. The quality deteriorates the more it steps down. So we'll take them and use them. And what I do is I'll take what I see in 1 week and put it in the gallery that you see on Wednesday evenings. And then I'll start all over again. I don't reuse the photographs, or I try not to. But if you've got a photograph or 2 or 3, I mean, we saw some nice stuff this week. We see it every week. But folks would send a photograph of the log and then the piece that came out of the log or the piece. And the same thing goes for, like, we just now saw a demonstration by Martin on that little piece to show the blanks and the finished piece, to show the products and the finished product. The same thing with all the rest of you turners. If you send us something, if you send us more information, we'll include that information on our contact sheet, which is on our website also. I'm sorry, we'll show that in our gallery, which is on our website. And then we can share all this together. I mean, I just now watched Martin decorate those things with stuff I have in the kitchen drawer. Think about it, and you probably do too. You got one of those drawers in the kitchen full of all kinds of stuff? Yeah, that's what I have. All right, we got a note on that. Somebody wondering who the demonstrator was. Larry is also known as Wood Whirler, WHIRLER. And he is the Wood Whirler. Nice videos, and y'all do know I can't do names, so I got to read them. And Sue Jill, yes, Sue, I put those in the gallery the last week or the week before. We picked up, Sue said 10 gorgeous, they're all beautiful, gorgeous pens to Ronnie for his marine project. And just so we don't get off base, we collect pens for the Army, Navy, Air Force, Marine, Space Guard, Coast Guard, everybody that serves the freedom of our country, for the freedom of our country, that they're eligible for a freedom pen. Get to turning. I went sorting from trash to treasure come inside. I found at least 100 pen kits in my stuff. So I got 100 pens to turn. And they're fun. They really are fun. Don't make them complicated. You'll learn how to use your gouge and your skew and how to put a quick finish on something. And you'll learn production work real quick. It's a skill builder. That's the term I would use for this. Anybody else? The gallery got 10 minutes before the top of the hour. At the top of the hour, we pull the plug. Dane Channel has our gallery. And Dane, what's up?
Well, we don't have anybody up for gallery, but I thought I would take a couple minutes and talk about some fundamentals on bowl turning in regards to some videos I've been watching recently.
I wish you would, sir.
Okay, let me go ahead and spotlight myself so you guys can see me loud and proud here. Hi, y'all. So I was on a mini vacation last week, so I wasn't able to attend the meeting last week, but I've been trying to catch up on some YouTube videos since I've been back home. And so there's been a lot of folks turning bowls here recently, it seems like. And I just want to give a fair warning out to our members that be careful what you see being done on YouTube, because some of the stuff that's being done is not necessarily the safest or the most proper way to go about your turnings. And what I specifically want to talk about is bowl turning, and specifically with side grain bowls. And so when you're turning a bowl, and unfortunately I don't have a piece, I guess I can use this. I'm doing a pure tung oil finish on this, so I've got many more coats yet to do on it. So ignore the wings and just think about the bowl portion. So when you're turning a side grain bowl, the best way to go about turning your bowl is to work your wall down about 1 inch at a time, get it to your final thickness, do any sanding that's required, and then don't touch it again. And then work your way down another iteration of 1/2 inch to 1 inch. Leave your center mass in. If you excavate your center mass out, as that bowl is turning around, your walls are going to flex, and you're going to have that vibration, and you're not going to get a clean cut when your tool is touching that wall. So you want to leave your center mass in and just work your way down, final dimension on your wall, and then keep working your way down. And then don't touch it. Don't go back to your wall. Don't go back with a scraper. Don't go back with a negative rake. Finish your wall as you're going down. And then other than that, that's all I have on that. I've just been seeing a lot of videos this week for whatever reason, you know, and a lot of the folks that I've been seeing putting out videos, seems like, you know, they've got the knowledge, but they're doing their turning, they're going down, and then they're coming back up, cutting against it as if it was an end grain bowl. And then they're talking about how they've got some really bad flex, and then it's just leaving really bad tool marks and ridges. And you can save yourself the trouble by just working part way down, do your finished dimension, and then keep going on down until you've got your final excavation done.
That's a good point. And what I would emphasize, and I've always taught is, if when you go back up to that rim, if you hear or feel chatter, get away.
Exactly.
Yeah, and there's no I'll fight through it, because you're going high to low, and maybe the low is the outside. And I've had very nice pieces blow up on me before I realized just what Dane was talking about. Go for the top, do a finish, step down. It's like walking down a set of stairs. You run down the stairs, you know you hit the bottom, but can you come back up after that?
And then another thing too, and this is a safety thing, don't grab a hold of your bowl to check smoothness or thinness while that machine is still running and that bowl is turning. You're just asking for an accident to happen with your finger, with it catching, burning yourself, cutting yourself really bad, knocking your knuckles. Just, if you got to touch it to feel the smoothness, turn your lathe off. And
especially, sorry to interrupt. I just wanted to say, and especially if you're doing anything live edge or wing bowl,
yes,
that wing will throw you into that airspace.
Yeah, I'd like to add something there too, guys. When you're turning a bowl and you get that rim straight and you're going down the side and you start coming back up, whether you're using a bowl gouge coming back up or whether you're using a scraper, that end grain's coming around, and you catch that end grain with that scraper or that bowl gouge, and that thing's going to blow up on you. And if you've done that very many times, you've seen a bowl blow up, because you can't get away with that a whole lot. You may get away with it once, but it's kind of like running that stop sign. Eventually, they're going to catch you.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
An inch at a time.
Yep.
Yep. Step down.
That's what I do. I do about an inch at a time. I don't go anything beyond an inch.
Well, we're sharing some information today. If you want to jump in, folks, both feet right now, jump in there because that's what we're here for on Wednesday evenings. Let me ask a little question of the entire membership. Did you invite a friend to join you tonight? Did you tell your club about us and say, hey, all you guys can be part of Worldwide Woodturners and it's free? And if you have something to put in or say or whatever, you can do it. There's no click, no hierarchy. We had 10 co-hosts tonight, and all of them had jobs or functions to help us with this evening as we continue, as we went along. From watching the mutes to the host to lining up future demonstrators and introducing demonstrators, etc. They were all part of our team of workers that put this thing together. And we're looking for new members of our team. And we're looking to grow this thing month after month after month because we're having a little fun with it. Got to remind you that 2x4 challenge is still active. And what that means is turn a little building material. It will hone your skills because it's really corny wood to work with. Ooh, southern yellow pine and loblolly white pine, they just don't cut right. So, but turn it, 2x4 challenge is on. You saw the demonstration we had with Walt Wagner this evening, turning that ornament. You know you can do that with 2x4? You can. 2 blocks of 2x4, you smooth the faces. Please get this right. You can't
You
take
can
the
even
2x4.
make mice from 2x4s.
Yes, but you can't glue them together, raw wood. No, lap them out flat. Put a piece of sandpaper on your table saw top. Just move it around, and flatten that surface. When you put those together, then you 100% bond, and you won't get that the 2-part failure thing. But 2x4 still going on, still going, and we want to see what it is you turn out of. Let us know it's 2x4. Or
Hey,
highlight it as such. Go ahead.
Listen, on what you were talking about earlier tonight, I have some 8-quarter mahogany. If you would like a piece of that for a cane.
That sounds nice to me. I'm trying to get a piece of wood to do a cane.
I
Very
have
much a-
this because I bought them for make table legs, but I'm
All right.
sure I'll have a leftover, and you're more than welcome to it.
I thank you. I'll be in contact with you, Sue.
Okay.
What it is, folks, I definitely need a cane to walk with. I don't know. And I'm going to make a canes of my own. And I said canes of my own because I got this terrible habit of leaving them places. And the other day I was complaining to my wife, I can't find a cane to screw off cap. It's under the chair you're sitting in the car. Those things happen. We all know it. We all do it. So about 1 minute left. We're going to pull the plug. And we're going to be back here next Wednesday evening. That's the club address. Email address, woodwidewoodturners@gmail.com. We have as many contact places we can on our website. And if you want to be part of our contact list, put it in chat right now. For those of you who are in the chat or want to be in the chat or need the chat, save it right now. This is your chance. Save it right now. And I'm doing that right there. I just did it that quick. It's going to be on my computer. I can refer to it tomorrow because I'm not going to remember any of this stuff. I'll remember something about it, but I'm not going to remember all the details like the IRDs and the contacts for buying things and demonstrations and demonstrators' names, et cetera, et cetera. You're sharing the info. It's right there. With that, folks, I'm Captain Eddie. Hey, let's all say goodnight. See you
Night,
next
Eddie.
time.
Night.
Night,
everybody. Have a great week.
Thanks,
Night.
Walt, for your demonstration, and thank you, Martin, for your demo.
Night,
Very
everybody.
good. Very
Thanks for
good.
sharing great demos.
Stay
Thanks,
safe.
everyone. Take
Talk to
care.
y'all later.
Good night, all.
Good night, Eddie. Thank you.
Good night, guys, gals. Woodturners.
All right.